Hi, my name is Tara Whitney. I am the founder of Whitney Consulting. We write grants, tenders, and business cases. I'm talking about leverage funding. So you might have heard that term, leverage funding or co-contribution, and wondered what it means. So leverage funding essentially means that they want to leverage other funding. So they want their grant funding, any funding that they give, to leverage other funds, meaning to access or to enable other funding to come in. So they don't want their funding to fund the whole project. They want other funding to be released because of the fact that they're putting in the grant funding. So that could be funding from you, so from your organisation, putting in $100,000 because the grant is putting in $100,000, or it could be another private company that would put in funding, mining company or a bank or something like that who might be contributing to the project. That is considered leverage funding or a co-contribution. Now, there's a few reasons why leverage funding is needed and wanted. One of them is because the grant program only has a limited amount of money. So the grant program is trying to achieve outcomes, and the more projects they can enable, the more outcomes will be delivered. So if they can fund 3 projects instead of just 1, because they're only funding a certain amount for each of the projects, then that means that they're going to achieve more outcomes. So as a grant program, they're going to deliver on what they're trying to achieve more, the more projects they can fund and enable. So that's one of the reasons, is to make that grant program go further. Another reason that they like to have leverage funding is because they want you to have skin in the game. They want you to be invested in the project. If they give you all the money, then they aren't guaranteed that when you go out and purchase things and do your procurement, that you're going to really fight to get the best value for money, because it's not your money. So you may not be as concerned. Whereas if your money is involved, you are going to try to get the best value for money procurement option that is available. The other reason is that they know that you are going to ensure that this project delivers the outcomes, because you're invested in the project, because you've invested your money. They know that when you're looking at this project, your board or committee or whoever it is has made a conscious decision to invest money into the project. So they must believe that the project is viable and feasible and it's going to deliver the outcomes. Otherwise, they wouldn't have invested in it. So they've got another set of eyes saying, yes, this is a viable project that we should invest in. It's not just the grant funding body having to do their due diligence alone. Somebody else has invested in it and said it's going to be worthwhile. And another reason why leverage funding is good is if it's coming from an organisation that's not yours, then it shows that there are other community organisations or other partners who also value this project. They also see that the benefits of the project are needed and wanted by the community. So it proves stakeholder engagement, improves community want for this project if there are other partners who are also willing to put their hard cash into the project. So there's a few reasons why leverage funding is really important. Often these days, grants are matched funding, which means if you are asking for $50,000, you have to put $50,000 in to match. So that is becoming increasingly more common, that it's a matched contribution scenario. Each grant is different as to whether or not it has to all be in cash or whether it can be your resources that you are committing as well. So you have to look at the guidelines to know what the deal is and what you have to put in. However, I do encourage you to put in as much as you can. So even if they don't require match funding, even if they don't require any funding at all, the fact of you putting in your own money and contributing your own money to the project is always going to go down well with an assessor. It is always going to make them feel more comfortable to invest in your project. So it's always something that I encourage you to do. If you can put money in, then you really should be putting money into the project. I hope this helps. If you need my information, it's on the website, whitneyconsulting.com.au, which is spelled WHITNEY, consulting.com.au. Thanks.